Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group D. So today we will present our project which is IIUM Transfer Credit Management System. In this group consists of four members. The first member is Ahmad Hakimi bin Ahmad Rasidi. The second member is Muhammad Amer Syafiq bin Sanusi. The third member is Muhammad Zolkharnain Fahmi bin Rahman. And then the last member is me myself, Muhammad Amir Syakirin bin Shafie, meeting number 1826571. So next we will proceed with the introduction. So the first introduction that will be explained today is document purpose. So for the purpose of this website is to help students to transfer their course credit more efficiently and help them to transfer it without any problem. And then we also put the purpose in points. So we put 3 points. The first one is to help student transfer credit. The second one is to show student which course can be transfer credit. And then the last one is applying new interface to make it easier to use. And then for the project scope, the scope of the project is to design a system for transferring credit for students to ease the process and speed up the verification process. And then our primary goal is to improve the system by allowing students to transfer credit. And then for the project objective, we put five objectives. The first one is to streamline the process of transferring credit for students. The second one is to enhance the transfer credit verification process by reducing the times and effort. The third one is to allow students to avoid taking duplicative costs by offering credit transfer. And then the fourth one is to offer a clear understanding of which courses are eligible for credit transfer. And then the last one is to implement a user-friendly interface for ease of use for both student and administrator. Next, we'll proceed with the intent, audience, and document overview. So for the intent audience for this project report is client and instructor. And then for the project document overview, this report contains three main contents, which are the introduction that explain the project scope of this project, overall description that explain the project functionalities, and the intent users that use this system, and requirements engineering process framework for listing all the functional and quality requirements, constraint and validation of the requirements. And then the recommended sequences for viewing the document is viewed in order begins with introduction, overall description, and requirement engineering process framework. Next, we move to the definition, acronym, and abbreviation. So for the admin is administrator of the system, usually IIUM staff, and then Ahmad is academic management and admission division of IIUM. CGPA, which is cumulative grade point average. The DOS is distribute denial of service, and then HOD is head of department. IDS is installation detection system. IEEE is Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers. IIUM is International Islamic University Malaysia. And then next is kuliah, which is the department of IIUM, for example KICT. And then MOHE, which is Ministry of Higher Education in Malaysia. And then my GIFOSS, which is the Malaysian Government Interoperability Framework for Open Source Software. OSS is Open Source Software. As SAPER is Student Academic Performance Evaluation Regulation. SOP is Standard of Procedure. SRS is System Requirement Specification. Student, which is student in IIUM community. TCMS is Transfer Credit Management System. UC is use case. User ID is User Identification. W3C is World Wide Web Consortium. And www is World Wide Web. And then this is the reference for our project. We put five reference for this project report. I think I will pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhamad Fahmi bin Rahman, metric number 1922697, and I will continue with my group presentation. which is titled IUM Transfer Credit Management System, on part 2, which is the overall descriptions. Alright, for the part 2.1, which is the project perspective. For this IUM Transfer Credit Management System, there will be few things that this project needs to be based on. The first is to provide a web-based platform to manage student transfer credit. It will replace the current paper-based system with the standard online-based system, which means this old system of IUM using the paper-based to record the students' data of transfer credit. And now we change it to the full-fledged online-based system. And then this online-based system will be integrated with the Ahmad Loan, and this system will be part of a bigger system of the IUM management system. Using this system, student can open the Ahmad Loan and then access our system, which is transfer credit management system, from there. Okay, for the product functionality 2.2, there will be a few major functions that this system and the user must perform. So user are able to do the transfer credit process. Below are the high-level summary of the system. The first one is the student and admin can log in into the system. Second is user can apply for transfer credit. The third is user can submit the transfer credit form. The fourth is user can view available course list. Next is system can approve the login and the transfer credit request. Lastly is admin can verify or approve the requested transfer credit. So this is the major function that this system and the user must perform. When for now it is on the high level summary. For the low level summary, it will be detailed on the SRS, which is the use case diagram. Alright. And next is 2.3, which is the user and the characteristic. So in this system, there will be three main users that we anticipate will use the system, which are the students, the system administrator, and the system maintenance team. For now, there will be two key users that are involved in the transfer credit process. The first is the student. The student will transfer credit and view the available costs that are listed to be transferred credit. And second is the system administrator, which are the admin that will verify the transfer credit request, where if the student are eligible to transfer and if the supported documents are provided by them. And for the satisfaction, the student will be prioritized on the function that they will do for the system. And then the second priority is the system administrator, because they will verify the transfer credit request by the user, which are the students. And the system maintenance team will maintain our system and provide the customer service. In the 2.4, which are the design and implementation constraint, there will be design and implementation constraint for our project. So far, we found that there are two key constraints that we need to be reminded of, which are the constraint of developing the system within 6 months, because this system will be integrated with the iMatlum system and the IIUM cloud database. So with having this constraint, and we have to implement this project as quick as possible. And the second is We need more time to study the technologies to secure the system, such as the system firewall and the network intrusion detection system. So, uh, for this time, uh, the constraint is more about the time, not about the cost, but it will be mandatory to be taken care of to make the project successful. Okay, last is 2.5, which is the assumption and dependencies. So there are 9 assumption and dependencies that we have found for the IUM transfer credit management system. The first one is uh, the system is to be developed using the Laravel framework. The second is the system is to be developed using the agile methodology. Third is system are going to be developed in 6 months. Fourth is system can handle up to 5,000 users at one time. Six is fifth is follow guideline. The system will be following guidelines and protocol of the IUM and the transfer credit from the Ministry of Higher Education. Six is it will implement latest technology of security because it's involving around the personal data. Seven is the system is dependent with the change of requirement by stakeholders because it's going to be developed using agile, so the requirements are dependent to create the project uh, according to the schedule. Eight is to have the site on database with fault tolerance. 9 is system is dependent on the accuracy of students' information. So this will be the assumption and dependencies. Uh, for now, it will be covered further in the other parts in the third part of the document. That's all from me. And next will be presented by uh, Amer.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhamad Syafiq bin Sanusi 1916419, and today I will present about the Requirements Engineering Process Framework. For the 3.1, which is the Requirements Engineering Process Framework, we are doing the RE context which covered the subject facet, which is the compromise relevant information that represent the system that can influence and constrain the system. Next is the usage facet that compromise all usage, including people and system that have direct or indirect interaction with the system. And then we have IT facet, which compromise all technical and operational environment for the system. We have development context, which is comprised of all context object that involved during development of the project. And lastly, the RE context where the object that taken consideration for this project. For our scope definition, the development project for the IIUM Transfer Credit Management System aims to address a number of issues that were discovered during its implementation. The inability of the inability of students to store all of the information related to their application for transfer credit is one of the main issues. A dedicated database server is being developed to address this issue. The system is becoming more susceptible to potential threats as a result of the absence of the cybersecurity measures, which is a further significant cause for concern. To address this, an OpenBSD packet filter-based firewall will be implemented to enhance system security and filter out any malicious network packets. In order to guarantee the project success, these two solutions will be given top priority. They are both within the IIUM Transfer Credit Management System development project scope. Next is the problem analysis. For IIUM Transfer Credit Management System development, there are several problems that we encountered and that need to be properly solved. First is the lack of storage space, because during the system development, we have identified that our system does not have sufficient storage space to store all information regarding transfer credit application by students. In order to solve that, we are developing a database server specified only for this server to accommodate the lack of storage space in the system. Second is the lack of security measures against cyber attacks. During the system implementation for the IIUM transfer credit management system, we noticed that our system is vulnerable to cyber attacks due to the lack of a firewall to protect and mitigate the attack from being detrimental to our system. For this problem, we will implement a firewall using OpenBSD packet filter to filter any threatening network packet from entering the system. Right, that's all for me. Next, I will pass to the next presenter. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Hakimi bin Rasidi, matric number 2013793. So I'm gonna present about some part of the our presentation. Firstly, it's a 3.4. It's a requirement elicitation. We choose our first elicitation technique is a survey technique. So basically, we trying to achieve about around 20 students and staff to gain to get some information about our developed system. So the question here is divided by three parts, which is demographics, general knowledge, and also the system improvement. So there are some sets of questions that we ask to our stakeholders, such as ages, gender, and also the staff or the student. And then we ask them about the general knowledge, like transfer experience transfer credit, or the opinion of the current existing systems, and the identify of the difficulties of the transfer credit system. And then lastly, we ask about the system improvement for them to ensure that we will try to from this information we try to get this information and try making some improvement in the during the development, such as the question is just like what are the things like how to improve the systems, what are the documents student need to be prepared, and also lastly is any requirement that student needs to be aware if they want to apply for transfer credit. So this is the first technique of our elicitation, the survey technique. The second technique is through the prototyping. So prototyping technique is one of the profound technique to have a very powerful insight about our development through the stakeholder views. And also this one, firstly we creating the main page of the IIUM credit transfer management system, whereas every user open the browser. This is the web application, so the users that can be they can be between the user are among the students and also the admin. So the admin staff who are verifying the student application such as the kuliah of the deans and also the kuliah of deans and also the head of department. So okay, firstly this is the main page where they open the browser and type in the URL address, and it will appear here the welcome pages where the user have to log in using their username and also password. The username maybe for the student they have to insert the matric card number, and for the staff they have to use staff ID. So they have to put a credential like a password, and also they have to identify whether the user is student or staff. So there's another feature of the remember the username where the user no longer needed to key in every time they want to access into the credit transfer management system. And also they have some feature like a forgot password and also activate PIN number. Okay, so the next second stage is this is a student's homepage, where if the user login as a student, so this is the homepage for the homepage for the students, and it will appear here is the details, the information detail about the students. Here is the picture of the students and the name, the details like a name, a matric number, the current program, and also the level of study. So and then the next we can see that this is the status of the application. So if the student did not apply the application yet. So probably he never ever use or use the application form yet. So this will indicate false. This indicate X instead of right tick, instead of the tick symbols. So and the next is the settle approval, whether this for this student they have already applied and all the required information for the application inside the application form. They have apply for credit transfer. They have already upload the transcript and also upload the course outline. So everything is valid and everything is upload. So waiting for the request for approval, and then this is the approval credit transfer, whether it is approved or declined. And then it will appear also the list of the course applied, the list of the transfer costs. So like for this person, like for this student, they apply five different subject. So the it would this display here the course code and so on, the IIUM course code, the credit hour, the grade obtained. And also there's another feature also like a navigation like a navigation drawer. Navigation drawer here also display the profile picture, the metric number of the students, and also the name of the student, and also current status of the user. So he is a student. So there are different navigation pages, like a home, like an available course offered, like an application form, like an update form, and also the approval status. And also besides that, we have settings, help, and also logout for it for anything that they want to make some change in configuration of the system. So and then they have some server buttons here. We can have apply. We can go, the student can go right away to the application form, or they can go to the navigation drawer. Can go to update, or go to the navigation drawer of update form, and then they print, whether they want to print as a PDF or they want to print as a hard copy. And also to check the approval status, they can click here or just go into the navigation drawer. So next is available course offer page. So after maybe for some student, they want to see about the list of the course offered for the for the credit transfer. So they have to navigate to this page, available course offer page, whether it display the code of the subject, and the name of the subject, the credit hours, the prerequisite, the section available, and also the vacancy. And besides that, we also put the feature of the search the kuliah. So any relevant kuliah, such as I put as BCS, so it will display all the related course code, and related subject for the BCS. So if I want to insert for the law student, for the law, for ICOL or engineering, so it will display some relevant courses that are related to the input of the kuliah. So another option, another function is a sort by, whether they want to sort by vacancy, like a sort by credit hours, and so on. So next is application form. If the student go to the application form, they have first encounter this page. It will redirect to this page. So this page, it has two kind of option of the application form. Okay, first is for IIU student, for IIUM student, for the local student, and the next one is for the other university or other institute students. So it will also display here the required document they have to submit, like for the student information, cost information, confirmation slip, and also the transcript. Also, same goes to the other university student. Also, they have to the personal detail information of previous institution, cost to be transferred, and transcript, and also the course outline. Okay, next is if the student choose for the application form for the local student, it will choose the left side of the card. So the first page of application form for the IIM student is here, the student information. So they have to fill up some personal details like a name, metric number, email, phone number, and major program, the current program, which is semester, which what session, and also the current CGPA. We also input one of the feature of the navigation bar here for easy to navigate through the application pages, like student information, course information, and also the conference update. So after they fill out all the information here, they will go to the next or go to the next navigation bar of course information. And then next page here is a course information where whereas the student have to some information that need to be fulfilled, like take relevant box like a pre-sessional kuliah to kuliah or readmission, change of program or double degree. So they have to tick some relevant some other boxes that is related relevant to the students. Why the purpose of the transfer credit. So next is a state of previous new program, state previous and the new program, previous program and also the new program. So for example, they have before the student attend for the program mechatronics. So for example, and then they change to the new program, like for example bachelor in computer science. So they have to put here in this form. And then lastly, and then it will go to the cost for credit transfer. So based on the available cost offered, page cost offered, so they have to put what kind of desired courses that they want to transfer, like they want to transfer. Okay, for example, like it will display here all the not full classes yet. So like for example, like for CS 1300, they have no vacancy yet. So that's why. So they have no vacancy yet. So technically, all the offered courses here, it will be displayed if there is no if it's not full yet. So they have a feature add or remove. So after selecting the some courses by course code, they want to add. If the student choose add, it will display here in the table below. If the person choose after selecting the course code and choose remove, it will automatically remove from the table below. And then they have a option previous or next. So previous to go to the previous stage or previous page of the student information, and the next go to the conference submission. And then last of the page of the application for IIUM student, where this they have to put some relevant documents such as like a student transcript or like a student transcript or the exam result, and also the summary of the student information and also the course information that have the fill in. So this like a summary of the application for the IIUM students, and then the summarize of the desired course transfer. So the user have an option to go to the previous pages, or you can navigate to the using the navigation bar, or they can print as a PDF at the form of PDF, or print the hard copy. And then if the students feel like convinced that all the information is relevant, all the information is valid, so the student can click submit. So it will go to the database, and then it will appear to the admin homepage. And the next is if the students is from another university or other institution, they have to click the first page of the application form on the right side. So this is an application for other institution. Like they also have a navigation bar, the same like before, and also there's some personal details like a name, a metric number, the current program, the address, the postcode, state, phone number, and also the email. And then the second one is the information of the previous institution. So they have to fill in some relevant information of their previous institution. And then after that, they can go click next. And then and the second page is a course essay information, where the student have to select the course, the relevant course, the related course to the like a the related course from the institution, from the previous institution, and then for an institution that is related to the IIUM course, so they have insert like for example like CS 1303 and so on. So they have a feature like an add or remove, whether add button, it will add the course information, sorry, the subject into the table, below, and then if the user click remove, it will remove the core subject of the from the table. So these students have 5 different subject they have to submit, they want to transfer. So they have fill in the credit hour, the grade obtained, like they have to fill in by themselves, like the course code. The course code is a related course code from the other university. So like for example, like for like a UITM for example, they have a different code, but it is still relevant with the mathematics for computing, for example. And then the below here they have a some kind of the instruction here, whether the user have to insert the transcript, and also they have to put the syllabus of the previous institution or the prospectus of catalog. So so they have to put down they have to drop their file to the respective document, respective placeholder. So they can go to the previous page, or they want to make some changes, or you can the students can go to the next page. And then lastly is for conference submission, where this the summarize of the information that they already the student key in before in the student information, and also courses information. And then this is all the summarize of the courses here. They can go to the previous page, or they can print into the PDF form, or they can the student can make a printing the hard copy one, or if the student is convinced that all the information is valid, so they can click submit. So the next one is a home page for the admin. So the first home page of the admin, it will display the total number of the application that is students. Like for example, here is a date, there's a name of the students, the metric number, the courses, and then this is the status of the approval. So it has a pending for approval. It also has a application approved or application declined, just like that. So besides that, we have a feature like a search for name, search for the date, any kind of related query for the applicants. Besides that, it has also the sort by date, or sort by the metric number, by ascending or descending order, just like that. So besides and then and then they have a view and also approve button. A view button, it will go to the view application, pages, and also the approve, which means if the student if the admin want to approve, they have to click approve, just like approve. So so if the admin if the admin trying to click on the navigation bar, like a navigation bar of the view application, or the button view application, view application for the home page, it will go to the related view applicants for the applied students. So this is information of the students, like for personal detail, like information of previous institution. This one is a previous institution. It will also same goes to the for the local student also, but it's just a different interface, but it's still the same form of interface, but a different but in a different information detail. So it's just still the same, it is still uniform, but it's a different information. So here is the transcript where where the admin can download the related document from a submitted from the students, like a transcript, like a course outline, just like that. And then this is one is what the student applied for the courses. So the admin can have choices whether they want to reject or accept the application. So just like that. Okay, the third technique of our elicitation technique is from the observation. For observation, we are usually examine or analyze for the existing paper-based system for IIUM, like just like an existing document, like a application form, like a UG 11 and UG 13 for the application transfer credit for the local student, for the local IIUM student, or the other universities. And the second one, we will compare it with the current transfer credit management system to make an improvement in the futures. And then lastly, we referring to the one of our group members, one of the our stakeholders. So he has experience in transferring the credit system. Okay, so next one is a requirement documentation. We have goal modeling, context diagram, use case diagram, and also functional requirement. So firstly is a goal modeling. Our main goals of the creating the credit transfer management system is to aim to improve the student transition from one qualification to another, maximize credit, and ensure that the student are not forced to repeat previous courses at an additional cost. So the sub goals for our main goals, it has three, like for example, like user friendly. So the explanation for the user friendly is whether the student are enabled to whether user friendly enable the students to transfer the credit when the subject cost outline is matched. And then that's why it's a good of information, where the information is sufficient, like for example, provide necessary information regarding transfer credit process and requirement, and also easy to understand. So, and the third one is a stable system. The goal of the stable system is to enable the transfer credit process online, and also have admin to manage students' credit transfer process. And the next one is a context diagram. We have three kind of the entity. We have students, we have admin, we have the system. So in the middle of the entity here is the system, the overall system of the the overall system of the credit transfer management system, how they interact with each other. So like for example, the student can apply for credit transfer, whether all information regarding credit transfer will transfer from the students. Students make an input, and then when trying to apply, it will go to the IIUM transfer credit management system. Same goes with the login, and also just like that. And then the system will transmit the information, such as showing course that can be transferred just like that to the student. And the second one, the second entity is an admin, whether they want to log in to the transfer credit management system, and it will go back. All the information from the admin will go to the transfer credit management system, and same goes with the transfer credit management system. It will go back to the admin when verifying the student request. So lastly is a system where this system approve student credit transfer to the system. So next is a use case diagram. This is the whole system of the use case. So to ensure that all the stakeholders understand about the usable, the function, and also the related actors. So we have three kind of actors here. It's a student, admin, also the system. And the firstly is apply for credit transfer, whether when the student trying to apply for credit transfer, it also includes the element of the approved credit transfer. So basically the process of the apply credit transfer, after the applying for the credit transfer, so it must be approved or disapproved by the system. So just like approved credit transfer, so it was this process is related dependence on related to each other. So and then the student able to login, and where the system have to verify the login credential, whether the students or whether incorrect password or anything else. If it's accepted, if the credential is accepted, if the credential is right, so it will verify the login. So otherwise they have to repeat back, or they can go to the forgot password, or if there's anything that may block the student to log in the system. And then lastly is a view available course list, where the student able to view the available course list just like interface in the prototype phase. Okay, next is one is an admin able to log into the system, and then the system able to verify the login credential, whether it is verified or not. And then Amir also able to verify the credit transfer from the student request from the application form. So lastly is a system where they have approved the credit transfer for the student's application, verify login credential for this login from the student and also the admin, and also the display transferable cross list for the students. And then next is a functional requirement. So we have several functional requirement here, just like the user must be able to log in into the system using metric number and current IIUM password. The admin must be able to log in into the staff number and current IIUM password. The system must be able to access document data from the IIUM website. The system must be able to access document data from the other specific document from the stakeholders. This shall prompt the user to log out after the 5 minutes of inactivity, and then the system shall display eligibility of the users based on the insert data. So and then the system shall do a comparison from the user insert data after, and then the admin shall verify the user request after the user's data, after receiving the user's data, which means students data. And then the system shall prompt the user with the message of the current status of the request, whether it is success or denied, after the admin has verified the user's credit transfer for to the user's registered email. And then the system must be able to register to the admin. And then lastly is the system able to verify the login credential. So from the functional requirement, we have got the requirement sources from the observation technique, from the interview technique, for the system technique, from the questionnaire technique. So the goal to mapping is we already discussed about the mapping goals, like a user easily navigate the page without training, easily navigate without training, and so on. And the next is a course information module. They have the functional requirement for the course information module. It has to be, the system shall display the transfer credit information to the user. The system shall display the term and condition with the SOP to the user. The system shall display the list of the program offered to the user. The system shall display the course detail with the prerequisite of the content to the user. And then next is a system feature. System feature of 3 is a user-friendly interface module. The system must provide guidance when they are using the system. The system shall allow the user to insert the personal information. The system shall send email to the student of the shall send the result of the transfer credit approved to the student using the email. And then lastly, the system shall have a clear and easy to use navigation menu for users to access different feature and information. And then the system shall have a responsible design, have a search function. The system must have a support section. They have a notification system to stay informed the update of the changes to the credit transfer credit request. And the system shall have a user profile section to view and manage their personal information and transfer credit requests. The system shall have an option to the user to upload and attach the relevant document. The system have a secure and encrypted connection between the user and protect their personal data and sensitive information. The system shall have confirmation pages to review and submit their transfer credit request. The system shall have a tracking system to follow the progress of the transfer credit request. And the system shall have a feedback or rating system for the user to feedback or suggest for improvement. Lastly, the system shall be accessible and usable for users with disabilities and assistive technology. And then for the 3.6, we have a requirement management. For the requirement management, we are using a selected tool for the requirement management tool. So we are using ProofHub as one of the tools. It's a web application tools for the requirement management tools. It provides the requirement prioritization, traceability, and also the change management of the requirement. So first is a prioritization. We can see that there are several tasks here. I want to highlight some of the prioritization here. So can see that each of the tasks is each of the requirement has highlighted with the prioritization, the status of prioritization, such as such a high. We have a in progress, we have a medium, and also high. We high. There are also another status of the prioritization, such as low, medium, high, in progress, and also the urgent. So the level of the severity has to be determined from the perspective of the stakeholders, documentation, and also the negotiation phase. So it has to be determined by that way, that kind of technique. So the tasks after the requirement, the details of the requirement here. After we click the task or requirement here, we can see that all the details provided here, just like a state due labels. But for the prioritization, we have the prioritization is shown in the label column. So like for example, the admin must be able to log into the system using staff number and current IIUM password. So the label here indicates the prioritization show high and also in progress, which means the current of the task is still in the progress of 40%, just like that. It is an example like that. So and that is the traceability. So each of the tasks or requirement must have a traceability in order for us to track back the progress, to to know which of the person are responsible for, and also which type of the functional requirement, just like that, and other function like that. So this is just like a simple example. Like for example, like all the like all the tasks here determined by who the person is responsible to issue the event, or responsible for to issue the event, or the ending the requirement as a task and put it into the task list. So like for example, this is a person, like for me, I'm Hakimi, so I'm the one who initiate the weekly agile meeting. So this just additional information, just like this. Okay, so the one of the requirement is a display list of the program. So I issue the requirement based on the documentation and from the stakeholder perspective, like from the another like a negotiation and some like just like that. So and then they have a progress of each of the tasks here, and the name of the requirement, the name of the task, the name of the requirement, the current progress of the task. So and also the hours, the last update of the hours, and also the date. And then we can see that this is the detail, the display credit transfer information. So the requirement here is the system shall display the transfer credit information to the user. So besides that, for the traceability, we can see that all the responsible person who have to manage or have to complete the task, to have complete the requirement, as below is for several people here, like a me and other three group members also. So it will all the responsible person for the certain requirement has to be include and also display under the assignees column. So there's also one of the feature of the traceability. Like for example, this one is a Gantt chart, where all the tasks have been assigned must be able to display to the Gantt chart. So, like for example, here we have some server tasks here and the progress and so on. And then this is a Gantt chart where they have to follow the date, follow the days and the date. And then this is some of the dependency. Like for example, like for example, this task must be done first before they have to execute this task. So this has some kind of a dependency requirement. So they have to finish some tasks first in order to have to start the other task first. So like for example, they have to start for other tasks before they have to start from another. They have some kind of metric that we have to follow. And this is the progress. Like for example, if the dark green here is a 100% progress, and whether the light green here is a 0% progress. So the proportion of the dark green and the light green indicates the progress of each of the requirement. And then lastly is a change management of the requirement, whether the management of the requirement is based on the stakeholders, the wish from the stakeholders. They want to make some changes. There are some kind of policy changes. There are some kind of document changes and some sort of like that. Some there are the source that influence the requirement. So this is one of the features of the one of the feature that we have to change, make a configuration of the current requirement. Like for example, here we have to go to the task history after making some changes to show that this task is updated. So like for example, I update some of the so this is the same task but with a different configuration. Just for example, this is task is already executed from the backlog, and from the backlog requirement, which means it's not executed yet, which is not being assigned yet, to the new stages of the in progress. So basically, this task is from the backlog, which means doesn't even execute yet, to the in progress. So it already execute. And then lastly is a previous progress. The progress, tracking the progress with progress from zero, from the backlog, from the zero until the progress of 30%. This is representing the representing the percentage of the requirement progress. So I think that's all part from I think that's all from my part. Thank you very much.
Next, we proceed with requirement validation. For requirement validation, we did a few review sessions where we meet with all the stakeholders. In those meetings, we display and describe all the requirements gathered by our teams. After that, the reviewer team also give feedback by commenting and approving accepted requirement. So for requirement validation, there's three things. The first one is commenting artifacts. The second one is inspection, and the last one is walkthrough. I think that's all from our group. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.